The Marvel movies always have quite a light touch to them. There's always a lot of comedy, but this in particular is extremely funny. Is this something you guys are going to continue with? Is that night going to stay lighter? And I mean, there were kids behind me that were cackling like witches on the corridor. Or are you going to go a little darker, maybe? Or I mean, yeah, the tone really. What's your plan?
Is that for Peyton?
Anyone?
Where's Kevin Feige?
Well, listen, I'm hoping that audiences will respond to this movie, and if we're fortunate enough to be able to make another Ant-Man movie, I think there's a lot of story left to tell with these characters. And I think there's also a freedom at Marvel to kind of tonally do whatever we think is best, what serves the story best. So this one happens to be a highly comedic heist movie in terms of its structure and tone. I think there's a portion of Ant-Man that will always have a comedic component to it, but I like the idea that we could, and invent an entirely different feel for a sequel if we're fortunate enough to be able to do one.
Ant-Man 2 will be like a Bergman film. Very quiet.
We're going to
very
black
serious.
and white. We're going to shoot in Sweden, and it's going to be all about God's silence.
Yeah, in acknowledgement of Evangeline Lilly, who's not with us today, who's 8 months preggers.
Prager's.
Traveling is doing very well, but for those of you who stayed to the very end credits, I thought there was also a little taste of what might be coming.
Absolutely. There's another question in the second row, please.
And this question is actually extraordinarily similar to the previous question, but I would like to know what themes you'd like to explore in Ant-Man 2, because obviously the comics are very rich. What kind of themes and where would you like to take your specific characters if there was to be an Ant-Man 2?
Let's start with Michael on the end, and then we'll work our way down.
Oh man, I really thought it was for you. I wasn't paying attention.
Just wing it.
No, so I would like. I personally would like. Of course, like if you're in a Marvel movie, you want to be some kind of superhero, and but who knows? You know what I mean? That's all from. I'm sorry, what? It's my time. No, I'm just kidding. But it's all up to Marvel. I'll remember that, lady.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had thoughts of where it could go, things that might happen, but it's so embryonic, and I've had no conversations with anybody about it. I don't know. But like Peyton said, I would be thrilled to get the opportunity to start exploring some of that.
I have no comment. I don't know anything. I signed on for this one. I moved past this, and I wish we had Kevin Feige.
Well, he wouldn't say anything either. He'd play on Marvel.
I happen to have a chart that I think I left it up in my room. No, but I think we get to the end of this movie, and there are a lot of questions at the end of the movie about what may or may not happen with these characters. I mean, in terms of Scott Lang, he's become Ant-Man for the purposes of this heist, but what next? There are definitely some hints in the movie, and we also know that Paul is going to appear as Scott Lang in Captain America: Civil War, which is very exciting. And if you could have heard Paul's voice when he finished his first day of shooting on the movie, you were very excited.
I was. Well, I saw Iron Man in person.
That's impressive.
And Captain America. It was weird. It was it made this whole thing seem real in a way that it wasn't even real for all of us. I think, kind of shooting in a bubble when we did this, and then it was like, oh my god, I've seen them. I've seen all of them.
But I think also, I'll speak for Evangeline, who's not here, but Hope's arc in this movie is every bit as important as Scott's. I mean, she really, in this movie, and particularly at the end of the movie, she's going to finally have her chance to be a hero as well. And I think it's exciting to imagine what might happen with her. And as far as Hank Pym, the things that happen in this movie, he had been obsessed in the past with exploring the quantum realm and trying to figure out if he could save his wife, and wasn't able to. But there are things that happen at the end of the movie that might reignite that obsession. And it remains to be seen if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Who knows? But
I think it's a good thing.